Hello everyone and welcome to the flying lessons of Jeff Online Flight Simulator. My name is Eli Cohen and I'm going to instruct you today on how to fly and land, take off and land the Antonov on Moscow. So, the very first thing you must know that the Antonov is a very heavy and slow plane. It's equipped with two turboprops engines and it's very easy to keep steady in the air for as long as you're doing it very slow and very small maneuvers. So please do keep attention and listen to the instructions, and I hope that you will learn to fly the plane. So the very first thing will be to start the engine by hitting the E key, the engine key. Let's roll the turboprop engines, and once it is ready, we control the engine by pressing the numbers key on the keyboard from 0 to 9. Let's roll the engines to full power, that's number 9, and let's start running on the runway. Now, lowering the flaps are with the square brackets, right and left brackets. Lowering the flaps, one switch. This is 15 degrees. Now let's run the plane up to about 100 knots and then pull the mouse to very slowly take off. Do not try to pull the plane with the speed lower than 100 knots or you're gonna stall on the runway. Very slowly pull it up and hit the G key for folding the landing gear up. And rise the flaps. Once we are airborne, you see we are now flying at 1,000 feet. We're going to start turning right soon into the first base, into the left base of the runway. We're going to circle the runway and we're going to land. Turning, you see now we're lowering the engine to 80%. We don't need 100% full power engine. Now with the mouse, very slowly, we're going to start a right turn, and while turning, keep the nose up. It's very important to keep the nose up while turning the plane. Very slowly, and I really suggest that you turn on the navigation map by hitting the N key for navigation so you can see where you're flying. We're going to make a 90-degree turn. We're now on left base and we're going to continue turning, and now we're entering upwind to the runway. And we're going to straight the plane. Here we can see the runway on our right side. We're going to fly in parallel of the runway and start lowering the plane just a little bit. We're now flying 1,700 feet. It's too high for landing, so we're going to lower the plane to about 1,000 feet. And we now just lower the engines to 70%. Now you can see the runway on the map on the left side of the screen, and we can see the runway on the right side of the screen as we're passing it by. We're now flying at 1,600 feet and the airspeed is 150 knots. We're going to keep flying straight until we bypass the runway, and then we're going to turn right to the right base, and after that we're going to turn right more 90 degrees into the final approach. As you can see, we're now just about to bypass the runway. We must take some distance because while turning we are getting forward, we're flying forward. So we must have enough distance for the right turn and for the final approach. And now we're going to start turning right into the right base. Very slow maneuvering with the mouse and keep the nose up. You can see the artificial horizon, that the dot is on the center. Now we're on the right base and we're going to keep turning and get in position to the final approach. There is the runway on our right side. So we're going to lower the landing gear by hitting the G key on the keyboard. And we're going to lower the engine power to 40% and lower the flaps to 15% by hitting the square brackets. And hitting the flaps one more key to 30%, 30 degrees. Lower the engine to 30%. And the descent rate should be no more than 200 feet per minute, and the touchdown should be no more than 100 feet per minute vertical speed. Otherwise, the plane is going to jump and stall. Flaps fully extended. Lower the engine power. Maintain vertical speed to no more than 100 feet per minute. Engine at 20%. And very slow touchdown on the runway. Now be very careful with the Antonov on the ground, because on the flight simulator it is not stable driving it on fast speed. So you should be very careful while driving it on the ground to hit the brakes with a space bar and driving it slow. Careful. You don't want this to happen to you. This was because I was driving too fast. So hit the brakes with a space bar. Rise the flaps up. Lower the engine power. Drive the plane into the parking lot. There we are in Moscow International Airfield. And once we're in position, we're going to hit the E key to turn off the engines. My name is Ali Cohen from videotips.tv. Thanks for watching the lesson on flying the Jeff's online flight simulator. I was flying today the Antonov, and I'll see you on the next lesson. Thanks for watching and have a nice flight. And do come back for more lessons. Bye bye.